Okay, so today we're going deep on this film that's got everybody buzzing, and
Yeah.
it's called Death of a Unicorn.
Oh, I've heard about this one.
Have you heard about it?
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
pretty wild.
Yeah, so the basic premise, and this is what's got everybody talking, is it's a dark comedy.
Go.
And it starts off with a father and daughter who accidentally hit a baby unicorn with their car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that's the setup, right? And we're gonna kind of dig into like how does something that bizarre
Yeah.
lead to something insightful, you
Yeah.
know?
Like, how do you even go from there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the film is directed by Alex Schiffman.
Okay.
And it features Jenna Ortega.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, who you probably know from Wednesday.
I do. Yeah. Big fan.
Yeah, and also Paul Rudd, who we all know and love from the MCU.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting combination, right?
You're really interesting.
Of talent and just a kind of a bizarre film. So what we want to do is we want to, in this deep dive, we
Right.
want to kind of understand, like, what are the layers of meaning here?
Yeah. What's going on?
What's the satire? What are they trying to say with this?
Because you don't just hit a unicorn with a car
Right. You don't just...
and then call it a day, you know?
Oh, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
there's got to be something deeper there.
Exactly. So, yeah, you're probably sitting there thinking like, okay, a unicorn, really? Like, where did they even come up with this?
Yeah. How did this...
So the director, Alex Schiffman, he said that the core image of the film just kind of like splodged into his head.
Splodged.
Yeah, that's the word he used.
Okay.
He said it just kind of splodged into his head. There wasn't like a big backstory or anything.
Interesting.
It was just like this primal, almost visceral thought.
Wow.
And it makes you wonder, right, about creative inspiration. Like, where does it come from sometimes?
Yeah, where does that come from?
It just pops into your head.
And what I think is so fascinating about that, too, is that he didn't even have, like, characters or a plot attached to it.
Oh, wow.
It was just that image
Wow.
of hitting a unicorn.
Just bam.
Yeah.
Unicorn.
Yeah, so, I mean, that begs the question, right? Like, why a unicorn?
Yeah.
Why not a griffin or,
Mhm.
you know, a dragon or something like that?
Right.
What is it about that particular creature that's so potent?
Exactly. Yeah. A unicorn's not just any animal.
No, it's not.
Right. It's got all this baggage, this cultural weight.
Absolutely.
And Sharfman's talked about this a lot.
Okay.
And he's said, you know, for him, the unicorn isn't just this like cute, sparkly being.
Right.
The act of hitting it with a car becomes this big question. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, what does that mean?
What does that do to us?
Yeah. And he sees it as a way to tap into all these bigger societal themes, things
Yeah.
that go way beyond this like ridiculous situation.
Right.
Right. So what kind of societal commentary do you think a splattered unicorn could actually represent?
Well, you have to think about it this way.
Yeah.
The unicorn, it's often seen as a symbol of purity, innocence,
Yeah.
maybe even like an unattainable ideal.
Mm-hmm.
And then you contrast that with something as like commonplace and destructive as a car,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that tension, I think, is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
It's like this jarring juxtaposition of the magical and the mundane.
Right.
And that's where the satire starts to come in.
Totally. Yeah.
It makes you think about the impact of the ordinary on the extraordinary.
Yeah.
Like how we as a society can destroy the things that we claim to hold sacred.
It's true. Yeah. And speaking of things coming together in unexpected ways,
Yeah.
let's talk about Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
Get a pair.
on paper, it's a fascinating pairing, right?
Totally.
So Sharfman said that he wasn't just looking for talented actors, he was looking for a specific dynamic.
Okay.
Something that they could bring to this dark and kind of weird story.
Yeah.
And their chemistry on screen has been described as electric. Wow.
Yeah. So what do you think? What kind of dynamic do you picture between those two in this kind of situation?
Well, you got to think about the kind of personas they usually play, right?
Yeah.
So Ortega, she's